Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast. This is the How You Hustle Podcast. As you guys can see beside me, I have Steven. What do you actually like to go by?
Anything, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I'm easy.
Like, you don't care?
Okay,
so if you guys don't know, plug yourself. What do you own?
So my name is Steven. I own a sneaker boutique called KICKSTW. It's located in Melbourne CBD. So we've been running our business since 2013. Started with online and now with the physical store.
So, if you guys don't know, I've been supporting him ever since he opened up his first brick and mortar in, where was it? It was really far away from me. Oakley, right,
yeah.
right. So it was a very destinational spot. It was literally just off a train track in a bunch of warehouses, sort of like what we are in at the moment. Decked it out, it looked really good. It was like the bee's knees for anything in like Melbourne. There was nothing like it in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was very small, but it was a good space.
Yeah, because
similar to here actually, 2 levels. You know, you walk upstairs. Yeah,
it was really nice. I remember you guys had the claw machines at the bottom, and then you walked up a flight of stairs. Had 2 rows of like heaps of shoes. It was actually a really, really dope spot. I've got a question for you. So you guys started from online, right? What made you move to a brick and mortar, and especially you moved to a brick and mortar that was not central to anything? Like, it was a destination location. Like, you had to drive. Like, I drove an hour just to get there.
Yeah.
So like, why was that the first play?
So it was a couple of reasons. The first one is we literally running out of space from my old house.
Yeah.
So with shoeboxes in bedrooms, kitchens, I have to kick out my roommate for the shoeboxes sitting in different rooms. And we were literally just looking for a warehouse space to store the shoes. And then I was like, hold on a second, when we have the space, why don't we try showcase the products? So back then the idea is more like a showroom rather than an actual retail space.
Yeah.
And then the rent there was affordable. Back then we don't have that much money, so that was the spot. I spent about 2 months to find that spot.
Damn, yeah. Because like, what people don't understand, like actually finding a spot that suits your office space and what you need is actually really, really hard. Like for me right now, as you guys can see, like my office space isn't the best office space. It's not the best looking office space, but it sort of does the job. But you evolved from the Oakley spot and you moved to Melbourne CBD. You moved to a spot on, I think,
Collins Street.
Collins Street, yes, that's correct. Why was that the next step? Because you went from a really big storage warehouse to like, I wouldn't say a small boutique, but it's like, it's tiny. Yeah, it's not huge.
It's tiny. So I don't know if you remember when we opened the Collins Street store, the Oakley store was not shut. So I was running the 2 stores together. The reason behind that was the one in Oakley, it has a good space. We can work there as an office. We can use that as a storage. The price is affordable. Or comparing to you have, any space in the city, it will cost you 5-10 times more.
Yeah, correct.
So the idea back then was to have a shop front in the city to test it out while you still have your storage space back in the suburbs. So it's affordable. All we have to figure out is how we do the stock transfer. And that's it. So
stock transfer was a problem for you guys. And a problem for me was still to this day is hiring staff. So I assume you went from family and friends at your Oakley store to randoms, to like people you actually had to hire. Tell me, what's the hardest thing about hiring a person, especially in the sneaker boutique? Because one, they need to know they need to know their shit. They just straight up need to know their shit. They need to be respectable. They need to be not arrogant. There's a lot of boxes that you need to tick off. So what was the main thing to hire people at that store?
So I believe it's really what you need for a business, right? So for us, KICKSTW always been a multicultural environment. When I was young, like I worked in a company called Red Energy. For those who don't know, it's energy company based in Melbourne. And I was doing door-to-door sales for about a year. I was the top 2 sales in my team. And I was the only Chinese staff in the field sales department. And it was like, I think, a little bit over 200 field sales divided into like over 10 teams.
And you were the only Asian Chinese person?
I wouldn't say I was the only Asian, but I was the only Chinese
So you would have won. I hate to say this. You would have won just on the factor that you could speak Cantonese to the Asians, to the Chinese people. Or
but
Mandarin.
You don't. What are the chances that you're getting a Chinese on the street with the door that you're knocking on? But yeah, so because of this, that I understand multicultural. So when we are hiring, we don't look at nationalities.
Yep.
So that's why, like, you've seen Australian-born Vietnamese in my shop, you've seen Chinese, you've seen Aussies.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen Singaporeans, you've seen Sri Lankan boy, Kishin was in my shop for a long time. And we really just go with what we need. So first of all, you need to feed in the team. And second of all, you need to have the knowledge that we need. And most importantly, I have to trust this person from your guts, right?
Yeah, see, that's definitely true, because like the problem that I have is trusting people, because it's like it's your pride and joy. It's like all your secrets. It's
a lot of business. It's a lot of business insights involved. It's very hard to keep it aside from your staff. So basically, when I'm picking a staff, I pick, okay, will this guy be staying with me for a certain amount of time? Will he be trustworthy? And then we'll be moving on to the next part. Is he has a lot of sneaker knowledge? Sneaker knowledge can be taught, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Skills can be trained.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's very hard to change a person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I see the hiring process.
So a lot of your staff, I notice, they're more than staff. They're more like family to you, because I've noticed that your progression from all 3 stores, you've kept 2 or 3 staff or more. Like I'm not sure, but coming from a small business owner, how important is it to keep your staff happy and at the same time like family? Because I noticed the way you treat them, they always come with you to wherever like we go, like we do sneaker events and whatnot. You're bringing the same stuff, you're bringing the same family around with you. Like, is it hard to move away from them, from being staff and being family? Or is it just like, okay, cool, they're just staff?
So that's very hard, to be honest, and sometimes I have to struggle, especially when you scale your business. That, you know, maybe I used to be able to spend hours with all those people around me, and then when the business starts to scale, when I have a store manager and I have more responsibilities, my time that's spending with my staff is getting less and less.
Yeah.
Right. And then it comes to a point that I only see them maybe a few times a week.
Yeah.
It's back to the question when you're asking me about when I go hiring. Yeah. It's really the feeling from your guts that these people is trustworthy. And when you treat them, you know, I don't treat them like someone just making money for me. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I care about them. You know, if they're sick, you know, I bring them medicine. You know, if they need money, I give them more shifts. Yeah. Right. If they have their ability to grow to a bigger role in the store, I let them be, and I pay them. You know, so the key is taking care of the people who is working for you, but then come back to me. I'm the person that I separate work and friendship very clearly. Well, this doesn't happen with everyone. So sometimes when I go like super strict on staffs, they think otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
And this happened to me in the past with, you know, some of my favorite staffs. But afterwards, I think it's more like communication. You just really got to let them know, you know, that's part of the business, but we're still friends, we're still family. But when it comes to work, it's work. When it comes to business, it's business. But to be honest, I struggle too, but you learn while you go. Yeah,
because for me, it's hard because like for my clothing brand, for everything that I do, I have a really tight-knit team that follows me throughout all my journeys. I try, like you, I try to put them into any role that I possibly can, right? But my second question, is it because of our background? Is it because how we've been brought up? Like, we weren't, like, you're an immigrant, I'm an immigrant, right? We come from immigrant families. Is it because we are learnt and taught from a young age that we need to keep people close to us because it's family, like that they need to be treated right? You need to treat the person the same way that you want to be treated. Like, does you being an immigrant help, as in the hustle? Does it become easier to like, there's no excuses, like your staff understands like, hey, we came from nothing, like you got to work hard. Like, we're not just giving you a paycheck just for the sake of so you can pay your bills. It's sort of like, yo, you're helping me feed my family, I'm helping you feed your family. It's no, like, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, so coming from my background, because I came here in 2009, so I've been here 11 years. I was not born here, right? So when I came here initially, I was coming here to study industrial design. I want to be an industrial designer. I want to influence people. I want to teach people, what is design, what is copy. My dream back then was, become an industrial designer and maybe go China or go somewhere else to teach people what's the difference between design and copy.
Yeah.
So I came here alone by myself. I don't really have families here. But my mom does influence me when I was young, right? My mom owned restaurants, owned clothing boutiques.
Yeah, of course.
When I was young. And even when I was in primary school, sometimes in summer breaks, I went to my mom's clothing boutiques to try help her like sell some clothing. Right?
Yeah.
I think it all started from there. Is like I see my mom as a hardworking class people. When I was in such a young age, and then my mom hustled really hard. That's why I was able to be sent to Melbourne to study, pay crazy amount of tuition fee to go through uni. It's really where I grew up, the environment definitely encouraged me to work hard. But all the other things about keeping people close to me, everything like this, there's no one teaching me. Right? There's no one giving me advice. I don't have a guru back then to give me marketing advice or how to hire staff. It's really, I learned everything on the go. And I just really trusted what I think would be good back then when everyone was thinking it was a shit business, right? So even when my mom came to visit me, I believe in 2014 when I first started, my
definitely.
mom's like, son, you are on your phone all the time. You can't do this reselling in your whole life. Like, go back to uni, study, focus on something else or maybe try with some other business. My mom even don't understand, like, why am I watching my phone 10 hours a day? Even when we go to the dinner, when we even fucking go to the swimming pool, I have to delay to jump in the pool for like fucking half an hour to holding on to the phone to reply to the clients to make sure to close that deal.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was basically the whole journey to help me understand what people I need, how I need to treat people, what people would think, what people would need when they were at a stage where I was at back then, right? Working so hard, working 12 hours a day and getting paid nothing.
Dude, do you know what's crazy? Like, we've never actually really sat down and spoke about your story because we've always had this mutual thing that we respect what each other do and what we're doing for the community, right? And it's crazy because, like, I hate to say this, a lot of people even look upon me and be like, you come from mummy daddy money. You come from an Asian background. They just assume you have money. It's
look,
like
I had that a lot when I was in Monash, right? I like sneakers, so sometimes I save up some money to buy sneakers, and basically everything I wear today, it's all come from my hard-earning money. But when people see the first side, the understanding is, oh, you're Chinese, you come from a rich parents.
Definitely.
That's where you got your sneakers from. That's where you got your $200 t-shirts from, right? But once you start to have a conversation with them, or once they start to know you, they understand, it's not the daddy mommy's money.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's strange because it's like, I feel like it's only the sneaker community that really be like, Chinese or even Asian international come from daddy money, daddy mummy money.
Yes.
It's such a weird stereotype that I don't understand how that happened, because it's like, I vlog everything I do. I show them how hard I work, but it's like, it's not enough. It's like, no, you still got money somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, dude, like, I know how to save. I know what I'm spending my money on, right? So, like, how, when you, this is a question that leads up. When you have customers that come in, for example, that have no knowledge of why these shoes are wrapped in whatever, how do you sort of like make someone understand that these shoes are cost $500 and why? Like, just say, for example, like a normal Yeezy 350 bread, right? Like $700-800. How do you explain that to a customer? Because that, I feel like that would be something really hard to explain, because it's like you gotta sort of explain to them, oh, I get resale, like demand, supply, all that stuff. Like, is there an easy way to explain that?
The short answer, no.
Definitely no. Yeah.
And how they come back to you is because they do their own research. Let me ask you a question. You love cars, right?
Yeah.
how did you buy your first car? Was that because you walk into a showroom that the car sales tell you this car is so good, it keeps the value, the color is great for you? Did you buy the car because of that?
Definitely not. Research. So, definitely research.
Yeah, so it's the same. When people first come to sneakers, they might ask you bits and pieces questions, and you answer to them. And then you let them do their own research. Internet is so developed today that you can get whatever information you want. You want to check on the value of the shoes, you go StockX, you go Gold, you go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You want to check up the history, you go Sneaker News, whatever you want to check. So once the customer is checking the information, and if you treated the customer right, you give them the right information, they were like, oh, the person who served me really knows shit.
Correct.
He's not lying to me or trying to push me to buy something. And then in the end of the day, when he decides to buy, he come back to us to buy. Because it's very risky for a first-time buyer or anyone new to start to buy the sneakers really on Facebook or Marketplace or some business that you don't know. So they would always come back to you if your price is right.
So it's funny how you said that, because that literally leads up to my next question. So the first buyers, yes, I understand they will come to your store because it's a shop front, because you're someone that I can be like, yo, you sold me a fake shoe, or yo, like something like that. What do you say to the idiots, I'm going to call them idiots, that go, I can buy it cheaper on Facebook, or I can buy it cheaper on StockX, or I can buy it cheaper somewhere else? Do you just, what do you say to them?
Well, when you're selling something, there's a selling point, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what do you need the shoes for, right? If you need it for a birthday coming tomorrow, you can buy on StockX, it won't arrive on time.
Correct.
Right? If I'm buying a shoe for myself to wear, I want a second-hand pair, or I've got a second-hand pair in the shop, you will never find exactly condition, exactly price pair on Facebook Marketplace. So these are just simple examples. It depends on what they need it for, and you sell them according to their needs. Right? It's not like, oh, I've got this shoe, it's a great price, buy them on the wall. No, it doesn't work like that. For me, at least for me, for our business, it doesn't work like that. And I've got customers, even they know that they probably can get shoes for $30, $50 cheaper, for $500 shoe or $600 shoe. They will still stick with us because they know that we will take care of them when they need their second pair of shoe, or when there's something they could not find on Facebook. So the relationship is really, really important. That's what it keeps the customer coming back. Why would I go to a car dealership to buy a car rather than really hustling to find them online, right? I could be a really lazy. That could be a reason, or I could be, I want some place who give me assurance of, the car is not being changed, or it's not being written off before.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the same reason why people come to the shops or well-known shops to purchase their sneakers.
Yeah, because definitely, there's some things that I come to you and I purchase, and I know I can probably buy it somewhere else, but I'll just buy it at your store. It's just because it's easier. One, it's easy, it's convenient. I get it on the spot.
You never get experience, right? So if you buy off someone individual, you don't have the chance to try on the shoes. You don't have the chance to look in the mirror to make sure the shoe really fits you, and also with the individual sellers, you don't have as much payment options,
Definitely.
They probably wouldn't take credit card.
It's cash only, or they rob you.
And you can't use Afterpay on the website, right?
Definitely.
So
reversing back to my first question about how you moved from Clayton to the CBD store. Now you have a new store, right? And that store, I would believe it's all about experience. Like you said, that it's very important for a customer to come in and have experience. I feel like you built a crazy, when you walk in there, you're like, this is impressive. This is super impressive. Why did you go that route? Why did you go the experience route? Because I feel like you could have just went a smaller store. You literally 5x your store, bigger. It's 10x your store.
10x, yeah.
Yeah, so
exactly 10x.
So it's 10x your store, and why? Just why? That's the main question.
So the idea was always in my mind. Even when I had Oakley store, I always know I wanted a bigger store. I wanted experience. And then when that property actually popped up, I seen everything. I seen the storage space. I seen the shop front. And that's exactly what I need. That's why I had a shop for half a year. Actually, you don't know. We had a shop for half a year empty. Like when the shop was for lease on the market, I took it 3 days after it was advertised. And even knowing that I wouldn't have any time to do renovation or nothing, just leave it empty until I was ready to take that spot. For my understanding that nowadays retail is more about a combination of online and offline. When you're talking about experience, we are talking about a experience that you possibly can buy online, you can try in the store, which I think Sneaker Boy did really well. This is like they are ahead of the game, right? They had their warehouse based in Hong Kong back in the day, and you can walk in the store, you can try on the shoes, but you can't pick up there. And people didn't understand back in the day, but now like
it's normal.
It's normal. They are ahead of the game.
Yeah,
so,
see, that's what I remember. I remember Kwasi Omar shitting on Sneaker Boy and saying like, "This is fucking stupid." But now it's just the norm. Like it's literally just it's a showroom. It's a touch and feel showroom that you can come in, experience something, feel it, and then be like, you know what, I'll just buy it online.
Yes.
Like and I feel like your store does it really well because like the organization of your store, how it's laid out, like this. Like you have a Supreme bike just sitting there and you let people sit on it.
Yeah.
Like, are you not worried that someone's going to like kick it over or like something dumb's going to happen to it?
Oh, the bike has already been scratched when we first put it up. So when my boy first put the bike together, right, there was one screw, I think, above the front wheel cover.
Yeah.
He forgot to put that on. So when we were moving the bike, when he first put up all together, it scratched the whole front cover. I don't know if you see.
Damn.
So the first day we put it up, the bike's already been used. I don't really care because the bike, we bought that bike and we hand lifted that bike up to the shop, right? You know the shop doesn't have an elevator. We never think of moving that bike down again to sell to someone. So would rather the bike sitting there and people can take photos and have the experience. So
because like what I noticed about your store is that you've spent a lot of money to develop this experience, right? How do you feel like it returns on sale? Like what's the ROI of experience to sales?
To be honest, I didn't think of that. All I wanted back then is a spot that people, how they walk up from a very small entrance and no elevator and to go to the door and will be go like, whoa.
You've done that.
I didn't waste my energy and my time to working up this, level 2 is more like a level 3 for normal building, right?
Yeah.
That was exactly the feeling that I want people to experience, and I believe that people experience that. And back then I didn't think of like, oh, how much I spent on renovation, how long time I'm gonna get this back. Like I'm gonna do this lifetime, bro. So put it this way. So whatever money that I spent on that shop, and plus I spent half of my lifetime in that shop. It's just like the other home of myself. How much would you spend on your home? As much money as you want because you stay there all the time.
Yeah, correct.
And same to the shop. That's my shop today. That's my shop 10 years later. That's my shop 20 years later. And that's why, it was not something that I have to consider when I was building the shop, if I have the money.
Did you consider that you're a level below Moray's? Because like Moray's, I feel like not a lot of people knew what Moray's was. Like I feel like still a lot of people don't know what Moray's is. Right? Do you feel like they affect your business at all?
Sorry, bro.
Nah, go nuts, bro.
So,
because like they're authorized dealers, right?
There was also a reason why I picked the spot because my ride was downstairs.
Yeah.
My ride was there for a good 12 years. They have their very loyal customers that goes there. So they are definitely in the business for a lot longer than where I am. So I definitely picked up a lot of customers from my ride. And it's just going to be a win-win situation considering that almost everything we sell is so different, right? They're going with designer brands, everything. Probably the only common brands we have is Off-White, but they have like an Off-White store, so they don't really stock that much Off-White over there. But yeah, I just think a lot of people working in that spot, they think we are the same company because they thought it's the same company offering a different variety of products.
Yep.
And that was great. That means people can shop downstairs, people can shop upstairs. They would shop here as one shop.
Yeah, it's like a mecca for like because I go there. When I go there, I always go to Murray's and I always go to yours. It's just like it's a great spot to find good clothing.
It gives people a reason why they're going there. Maybe it's not enough for people just go there to buy a Givenchy top.
Yeah, correct.
But where you consider, I can probably find a pair of Jordans to match that Givenchy top upstairs.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, I will go. Even I have to climb up,
But the good thing is because the price range there sort of suits your price range as well. It's not like you're in the middle of nowhere and you're trying to, like, you're not next to Kmart. So it's not like, do you know what I mean? So, like, people understand that when you walk up the next level, the prices are not going to change. It's not going to get cheaper. It's only going to be the same. So, like, the customers there are already spending that price range. So my second question to this is, with being in with Murray's and KICKSTW, your price range is, I wouldn't say it's cheap. Right.
It's a big variety, like from something low to something really high. Yeah.
So when a customer comes in, right, how do you know, or how do you treat customers? Because this is a very important thing. Because this happens to, I know it happens more to me. I don't know if it happens to you. Every time I go into like LV or Gucci or whatever, these motherfuckers don't give me a light of day. They sort of just look at me and be like, this can't start buying nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't understand. These guys are just retail workers, probably getting paid 50, 60 grand a year at tops.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, yo, like, how are you judging me like this? Right. For you guys, I notice you guys don't judge customers because any customer nowadays can have money.
Yeah.
Right. How much do you think, how much has a customer spent in one go? Like, what's the max they've spent in one go?
You mean in the store?
In the store. Because I know online, like you just told me, someone bought some bear bricks and stuff like that. That's like 40, 50K already.
Can't really remember out of my head, but definitely over 20 grand.
In store?
Yes.
Damn, that's impressive as hell.
Yeah.
Even if I wanted to, I probably couldn't spend 200K. Like, without you selling me the bike.
I would have customers spending over 10 grand a few times.
Yeah.
Throughout the year. I would say 10 times.
Yes, okay.
But yeah, I think maybe someone spent over 30. I can't really remember out of my mind.
See, and those kind of customers will always come back to you. And it's sort of like, you can give them discounts, you can do whatever you want to do. And a lot of people are going to be like, that customer spent 30 grand. That doesn't mean it's 30 grand in your pocket. But the second question to this is, how important it is to stock your own stock? Because I know for you, as a fact, I've seen you do it. I've seen you walk around and just buy motherfuckers out. Like, you buy everything. Like, you're like, just give me everything. Like, I've seen you do it, right? How important is that now to having consigners?
Australia is very different market space than US or Asia. That when I first started my business, I buy a lot from the States.
Yeah.
Where the States has the cheapest price, the biggest variety. Not everyone was online. People didn't know the stocks was exclusive to the States, that you can buy them cheap there and then sell a little bit higher here. So for us to run business, buy cheap, sell high. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the basic concept. But how you actually funding the cheap stock and how you funding the customer who is willing to pay high, and that's how you run the business, right?
Definitely.
That was the key. So back to our question, with consignment, we always welcome customer to do consignment, but then it comes back to a time cost or labor cost. Does it really worth it? So if everyone comes in the store bringing one pair of Jordan 1 meat, that we making probably $30, $40 upon the commission, and you spend 10 minutes talking to him, you spend 10 minutes working on putting stock in the system and printing the label, it simply doesn't work.
Yeah, right? Definitely. Because that's what I didn't understand as well. Because like people who have consignment stores, like I know people who have consignment stores, that the consignment like fee is usually 10 to 20%, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, that doesn't even pay a staff for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't pay a staff for 2 hours. Like talking to that consignee, doing all that, printing it, shrink wrapping the thing, inventorying the shoe, and then when someone buys it, you can do it all in reverse.
Yeah.
And that's like 2 hours of your time.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is the point of this to earn $30? Like,
yeah, so
especially at your scale.
We both know Jesse from Urban Necessities.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So he's still keeping his rate at 10%. Well, do you think he really makes money from consignment? Well, I'm quite close to him.
Yeah.
And I never asked him that question, but to be honest, I don't think he makes money from consignments,
Yeah.
right? You makes money from once you're building your reputation from anything else you're carrying in the store. Once you have your brand names out there, you can sell anything you want.
Definitely.
So consignments is more like you helping people to move their inventory. They help you to make sure that your shop gets the range.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah.
And also you have a great price. So because the consignment rate is so low, so it's more easier for you to work out a beneficial deal for you to
buy them out.
It's more easier for you to work out a beneficial deal for the shoe to be sold in the store at a steal price.
Yeah.
Right? Where you can attract your customers to come in the store and they might buy something else.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the benefit of actually having a physical store, because like I know sometimes you guys do crazy discounts on certain items.
Yeah.
And it brings customers through the door and they buy other things. Like that's definitely the way to do it. There's one thing that I've noticed that you stopped doing, and I'm gonna say your excuse is that you don't want to carry shit downstairs, right? But why are you looking to do more sneaker events, or are you just like sneaker events is for a time for you to go in and just buy stuff?
I think most of the time the sneaker events since 2017, I was mainly going to the sneaker events to buy stuffs, but a lot of the time it's my staffs, they want to come down to experience the events. And I was like, let's go, we get a table, we'll bring down a few goodies and we sell them there. So the first time SneakerCon in Melbourne, you were there, right?
Yep.
If you don't mind me asking, how much was your revenue for the day? Do you remember?
KOKAINE. So it was KOKAINE, SneakerCon. Maybe
the first SneakerCon, not the second one.
The first one, I think about 20K, 25K, I think.
We did 100K for that day.
Jesus Christ. But didn't you, like, I swear I remember you guys just had a flex booth. Like, it was literally just, you were flexing on every single fucking person there.
We literally had 5 tables.
Yeah.
We did creative display. We were the first one that hanging all the Yeezys like by laces, they were like hanging on a high clothing racks, and then they literally like a Yeezy tree, right? And people is like literally grabbing the shoe from the thing. It's like, oh, I want this one, I want that one. And then it was the first time that I bring down the heat locker machine.
Yeah.
Right. That was the only heat locker machine there. I think there were 3 Yeezys dropped on that day. There was a turtle dove, there was a moon rock, and there was something else. There were 3 pairs of Yeezys dropped on the day. The machine itself collected less than 10 grand, I would say, $8,000 to $9,000.
That's insane.
But considering the shoes that we're dropping was 5-6 grand, so we really prepared for that event. Yeah,
because you I remember the first SneakerCon, you guys were like, you flexed on everyone. Like,
we didn't flex, bro.
I call it a flex, but you guys really showed what your business is about. Like, you really were like, yo, this is KICKSTW, and we're here to actually mean business. It wasn't just like just there for show. First of all, we don't run our business in the back of my bedroom anymore. Yeah. Second of all, we don't only carry Jordan 1 mids and lows. Yeah. That's what I want to say. Yeah, because what I notice now is like a lot of consignment people that are starting up now is just like, that's cool, man. You got Jordan 1 mids. Like, do you sell anything else? Like it's so hard now, because I realized from a very early point of SneakerCon, when you guys started, even at like Sneaker Freaker events, you guys had like the oohs and the ahs of sneakers, like Origin 5s, like the Kanye West College Babesters. I remember you had a pair of those, and it's just like it's history, and it's like it's a range that no one else can ever see. Like, I can't go anywhere else to see that range. Like I know Edwin, I know fucking Anthony from Underrated and stuff like that, and Sneaker Still. But it's like, if I want to be impressed by what you have, I'm going to KICKSTW. Because like, if I needed a shoe that like just say like a Jordan 4 Oreo, like something that's not GR, something that's really like you have to like Jordans to have this shoe, you would be the person that I go to. Like, you're the go-to person when like someone needs something very, very, very specific. Yes. Like, and that's how you, like, your story is so impressive that way. Because even your Kobe collection, like your Kobe 9 collection, the colorway ones, the ones that fade from like, I think black to like white or something like that, you have it all on display, and I'm just like,
and all of them were in my size. It was the whole collection is in a size 9.
And I'm just like, yo, that's impressive. See, but like nowadays people don't really understand how impressive that is, right? So my next question is, because the young generation are brought up on Yeezys, they're brought up on Off-White Nike collabs, they're brought up on Kith collabs and stuff like that. But we weren't brought up on that. We were brought up on Jordan collabs. We were brought up on like the Jordan 4s, the Jordan 11s, and we're talking more old school like taxis and stuff like that. Like, how are you informing these cuts? Like, how are you educating the younger generation about the older shoes? Because only now Jordan 1s are becoming cool. But I remember back then, Jordan 1s were like, you're a real sneakerhead if you're wearing a Jordan 1 bread. Yeah. You're a real sneakerhead. Like, you know your shit.
Yeah.
Right? But now everyone's wearing it. How are you, like, how's your store educating the youth to older items?
So to be honest, rather than educating them, we're more following the trend, you know?
Yeah.
People, again, like we are so, the era is so different now. The internet, you know, just connects people from here and there. A lot of people say, oh, you are Jordan 1 mids, Jordan 1 low, you're not sneakerhead. Like, I disagree.
Yeah.
You know, you are sneakerhead even you wear whatever sneakers you love. You call yourself a sneakerhead. You don't wear sneakers because someone say, oh, you wear sneakers, it's going to be cool. Then I don't call this guy a sneakerhead. So if the people are definitely keen to learn something about what's the history, what was before, like, you know, we're happy to share the story. But if the people decide to stay with the trend, to stay with Yeezy 350, Jordan 1 mids, Jordan 1 lows, I don't have no issue with it. So they can love whatever they love.
How do you feel that Nike SBs now are becoming the new cool thing? Because like for us, Nike SBs were like the shit. Like we're talking about like pigeons. We're talking about like Supreme Dunk Highs. Like that's the age that we came up in, and like it was like, oh, only skaters can really wear that shoe, right? Like we didn't really wear that shoe, right? How do you feel that now that sneakers are going 360? It's literally going backwards.
Yeah.
Like, how's that work for your store? Because like I know that you guys were one of the first to have the Nike Dunk pigeons, like the OG Nike Dunk pigeons. I'm not talking about the new ones, but I'm talking like years ago ones. And even the Heinekens. I think you guys have a pair of SB Heinekens as well.
Yeah, we sold a few pairs of Heinekens.
Yeah, see, like stuff like that. Like, how do you feel that now that the younger generation is actually getting the stuff that we liked back in the day that was cool?
First of all, I was never a big fan of dunks.
Yeah.
One simple reason, my right foot is a little bit wider than my left foot.
Yeah.
So I'm generally a size 9 to 9.5. I tried on dunks in 9, 9.5, 10. None of them fit my foot.
Fuck, that shit.
So I can never genuinely enjoy a pair of Dunk High Speeds.
Yeah.
My favorite Dunk High Speed was the De La Solos.
Yeah.
Oh. Back in the day when they released on, I think it was Fast Times. I was there in the morning. Retail was $130. No one buys them. They're sitting full size right in the store. I pick up like 2 pairs. I pick up a 9, pick up a 10. And I tried on balls, even wore balls, and none of them fits me. So I have to flip them over. I think I sold them for $95, bro. They're going for like $700 now. We're talking about Australian dollars for those people that who don't know. We're not talking about US dollars, right? For me, even with the Jordan 1s that you were talking about, it's really in 2013, Australia doesn't release that many Jordan 1s.
Definitely
right?
not.
So, you know, for the release of Shattered Backboard 1.0, the high top, on the same day in the States, they released the Chicago Jordan 1, but it never came to Australia. The Chicago Jordan 1 never released in Australia in any store. KICKSTW 1 doesn't have them, Nike store. No one has them.
Yeah, correct.
So I believe the Chicago ones, I think we sold over 100 pairs. So we imported everything from Europe, from the States. And that was the very first time that I imported something in such a large scale to my bedroom. To offering to people in Australia to buy them. And then we definitely see the Jordan 1 hype going down from the Jordan 1 UNC high release, which is literally a few months after the Chicago one. Again, I bought over 100 pairs. I don't know if you still can find that image. I had an image of my staff back in the day, like holding over 100 pairs in the backyard of my house. And then the moment we got a shoe, each pair of shoe market value dropped average about $150. And we literally, like instantly, as soon as we received the shoe, we instantly losing over $10,000 on that inventory that I purchased. And it took me 4 years to get rid of all of them.
Damn.
And once I got rid of all of them, maybe I think a few months later, I believe it was in 2017, Off-White did a collab
with the Jordan 1.
With Jordan 1. They dropped the UNC colorway.
Yeah.
And the price went back up from $250 to $400, $500, $600. And now the shoe is over $1,000.
Yeah.
So imagine that. I paid close to 400 Australian dollars for each pair of them. And I got rid of them for as low as $250.
Damn.
And now seeing the shoes going for $1,000, how I feel. So you can't really pretend the trend. And I would see myself as, someone who see the insides of sneakers, who always, keeping my eyes on the trends and try to analyze and understand where the sneakers go. So even for people like me, I cannot analyze it 100%. So don't follow the trends, just follow what you love. So
I've got one final question, right? So like, this is a really, I'll say open question. If you had to reverse time and not do consignment stores, would you want a Nike account and an Adidas account? Or number two, why haven't you tried to get a Nike and an Adidas account?
So I have a very certain answer, no. When you are with a certain brand, with a footwear store, you are limited to their supplies. You are limited to their imaginations, right? So when you are owning this consignment store by yourself and you decide to carry whatever exclusive products you want to carry, your imagination, your limit is the sky. Well, when you are having a Nike account, that everything is according to what Nike or Adidas supply you. Would I love to have an account? Yes. Would I be considering to let my exclusivity goal of KICKSTW to bring that account? No.
Yeah, because like a lot of people are like, oh, like why don't you guys just get accounts? And then like people don't understand getting like a tier 0 account. Like that's the goal. Nike, like people who have Nike accounts want tier 0 accounts, and people don't understand what a tier 0 account is like the most exclusive. You get everything. Like, and for Jordan account as well. Like you want the highest Jordan brand account as well, and it's like you have to sell X amount of dollars of a certain shoe, a certain style to get these accounts. And for consignment stores, it's just like you're competing with everyone. You're competing with Hype, you're competing with Platypus, you're competing with Foot Locker. Like there's a million people that have accounts. And that's what, like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand that when you walk into a consignment store, you can buy everything. You don't need to go to another store.
That's the beauty of our store, is you can walk in, you can buy anything that's in the store. You can literally buy anything you want. So you can ask us, we'll get you the shoes.
And I'm going to end on that note. Stephen, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Where can they actually find your store and your website?
So the website is www.kickstw.com.au. You can find us also on Instagram. It's KICKSTW_. The store is located at 314 Little Collins Street in Royal Arcade. It's level 2. We're sharing the same entry as my Rise.
One question before we finish. Why is it called KICKSTW? I always wanted to know this. Why is it STW?
Lots of people asked. So it's Kicks and then it's STW. STW stands for my name, Stephen Wei. So
I thought this as well, but I was like, that's kind of too obvious. Like, it was too obvious for me because we, like, a lot of people were like, oh, does it mean something? Like, I knew.
No, it was a name came from my mind 5 minutes when I started my Instagram. That's where it come from. So it was just same as my Instagram name, and I just decided to keep using this name.
See, and it worked perfectly. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to go check out Stephen's business, KICKSTW. I support it 100%. I thank you guys. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you for taking out your busy day to come speak with me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Peace. Damn, your story's interesting as fuck.
Good?
Yeah.